Tensions between the PGA Tour and LIV Golf League has never been higher, and Billy Horschel is not holding back. He singled out 6 LIV Golf Invitational Series players by name ahead of the DP World Tour tournament at Wentworth, very clearly irritated that they're competing there after leaving for the controversial Saudi-backed venture. So, what did he say, and how did the golfers react? Stick around as we answer all these questions and more. First up, what exactly happened at Wentworth? So first things first, LIV Golf members have been barred from participating in PGA Tour and most DP World Tour tournaments, also known as the European Tour. But here's the thing, they've been permitted to compete this week at Wentworth provided they are rated within the top 60 in the official World Golf Rankings, and this is a position that can't be improved by competing in the LIV Golf tournaments. We suppose even the heaviest paychecks have some downsides to them. This is one of the first tournaments where the two divided groups of golfers have competed in the same tournament since the league's creation. And here's the thing, even the DP World Tour will punish LIV players who are competing this week, so this has caused a bit of a dilemma for sure. Up next, what did the LIV players have to say about the awkward situation? Let's be real for a second. Wentworth's range was definitely busy, but very quiet, and here's why no one wanted to say aloud what everyone else was thinking. All everyone's been talking about is the DP World Tour's premier event. More specifically, it's the appearance of 15 LIV Golf players. At least 2 of the outsiders were doing their best to be very hush-hush. Nothing to talk about, Ian Poulter smirked. I'm in no comment mode, was Graham McDowell's sole answer, which was at least on the record. But get this silence most certainly didn't apply to Billy Horschel. The 35-year-old American's the defending champion this week, and is already a vocal critic of just about everything LIV. He's a 2,500 plus favorite to win it again this year at BetMGM. Coming up, what did Billy Horschel have to say? He was kinder to players like Lee Westwood and Ian Poulter, who joined LIV towards the latter end of their careers, but he really doesn't want them on the field during the championship. But let's come back to what Horschel said, as he recently competed in the Genesis Scottish Open in July, and wasn't about to back down when the matter came up during his pre-tournament news conference. The man does deserve some credit, as he did begin his monologue of sorts diplomatically. He believed that there were conflicting emotions between the players about whether the LIV players should be there. There are those guys who fall somewhere in the center, and then there are those who believe that there's too much hate for these men. After all, these players helped develop the DP World Tour, played in Ryder Cups, and made the European Tour succeed. Coming up next, Billy Horschel went into a full rant. So, all that was kind of a warm-up, and soon he went full anti-LIV. He believed that even though Lee Westwood and Ian Poulter have been European Tour mainstays, he didn't think those guys should be there. Horschel said, I don't think the American guys who haven't supported the PGA Tour should be here. So basically, he called out names like Abraham Ancer, Taylor Gooch, and Jason Kokrak. These were the players who've never played the tournament and have never supported the DP World Tour. In his eyes, these players are only playing for one reason only, to gain world ranking points since they don't have any on the LIV Tour. And that's not all. He also felt it was kind of hypocritical since many of the players who defected claimed they wanted to play less golf. So when you say you want to play less and spend more time with your family and then immediately join the tournament, well, it just doesn't make sense. But here's the thing, Horschel isn't alone in his beliefs. To be honest, Horschel isn't the only one who has strong feelings about LIV. Former US Open winner Jon Rahm spoke next and gave his 2 cents on the same topic. Jon Rahm was an 800-plus favorite to win at BetMGM, and while he didn't really call anyone out, he did agree with Horschel in his assessment. Plus, he also thought it wasn't fair to leave someone out of the field for LIV golfers, like Rahm's buddy, Alfredo Garcia Herrera. While the Spaniard had no difficulty seeing the likes of Poulter, Lee Westwood, and Sergio Garcia on the range, these players have also spent 20-odd years on the European Tour. But he agreed with Horschel when it came to some other LIV golfers. He didn't understand why some of the players who've never shown any interest in the European Tour, who've never even shown any desire in playing this tournament, are being given a chance only to gain world ranking points. So it annoyed the 27-year-old that someone who's competed in over 20 DP World events this year can't be granted the opportunity to compete in a flagship event. But people who didn't really care about the championship have been given a chance. And not just that, he also felt the LIV players weren't aware or never even interested in the history and importance of the event. Instead, they only wanted to finish in the top 50 and get out of there. Next up, Horschel blames the agents, not the players. The 35-year-old wasn't blaming the players for their current predicament, which permits LIV golfers to participate on the DP World Tour until February 2023. This is when a UK court will decide if LIV players may be barred from competing in DP World Tour tournaments altogether. In the Floridian's opinion, the agencies representing those players are just as guilty. He believes that some of the agents led their men down a bad road and didn't give the players all the information needed to make an informed decision. Basically, he felt that agents should have played the devil's advocate, because that's something he would have done himself. If he were in their shoes, his agent would have played this role well and would have made sure he knew the pros and cons that came with the whole deal. He believes that these agents only saw dollar signs and wanted to get in on the action. And he didn't take any names, but he did say that he knew of some players who now regret listening to their agent and joining the rival league. Now for some other golf news. Coming up, Greg Norman does the most to get noticed. The LIV Golf event outside Boston was about to start, and Greg Norman, the face of the upstart Saudi-backed circuit, needed a new, flashy way to make an appearance. After all, in this war for men's golf, you need to look like the future. So, Norman did what any normal, sane man would do and leapt out of an airplane and landed on the first tee. His rival, PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan, would never do such a thing, right? So the hundreds of spectators gathered around the first tee lifted their gaze to the skies to see Norman, who is tied to a former military parachutist, plummet toward the background of a clear blue sky until he touched down in front of the tee. Norman leaped upright and joyfully raised both fists after being separated, and as he approached the tee, a fan yelled out, "Greg, the PGA Tour is done. You did it, baby." We can't say that's totally true, but it fulfilled its purpose. Up next, no more pants is a surefire way to make yourself unique. And that's not even half of it. The LIV Golf leaders allowed players to wear shorts to be the anti-PGA Tour, which includes not having large event audiences or a broadcast TV deal. As you guys know, the PGA Tour doesn't allow its players to bare their legs during competition. Players on the circuit said they felt freer after the LIV Golf decision, an unusual choice of words for a group guaranteed at least $120,000 for their attendance at the tournament. There was only one kink in the LIV Golf's dress code golfing revolution. The bulk of the players kept their trousers on. Perhaps these men appreciate golf tradition more than Norman thought. Now finally, how is the LIV team concept faring? The LIV Golf leadership is also certain that the team idea, which is new to golf, is the key to the tour's success. The idea is to recreate the Formula One team model's success, but the LIV Golf teams had a clumsy launch earlier this year when team members kept changing, which didn't help as fans were already pretty confused. I mean, it's hard to remember the 12 team names, let alone their 4-man rosters. Not to be taken lightly, the Saudi-backed tour will increase the number of tournaments next year, and the 4-player teams will remain consistent from tournament to tournament, barring injury. To emphasize the whole team thing, players on each team will wear similar clothing of some kind, such as a uniform. The goal is also to create teams with a common theme, such as 4 Australians led by Smith, a South African team led by Louis Oosthuizen, and other nationality-based teams. Hideki Matsuyama, the 2021 Masters winner, has been extensively sought by LIV Golf in the hopes of leading a Japanese squad. That's a wrap for this video. Do you agree with Horschel's view about the LIV players, and should they be banned from future DP tournaments? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.